Hey everybody, it's Ad the Red and welcome back to Stay DPRK. Right then, last we left off, we were on our second date with NJ and we were going to see the USS Pueblo. Right, let's see how this goes. She grabs my hand and starts leading me towards the harbor off the Botong River. Sure enough, there's an old Navy ship moored there. However, it doesn't look much like much of a combat vessel. No, it doesn't really. No, not at all. It's got it's got that. It's got a machine gun. I think that's what that is. I can't fucking... I mean, it vaguely... I don't fucking know. Even a marine like myself can tell the ship lacks any modern equipment. And seems to only be armed with two Maudeuses, or Browning 50 caliber machine guns in polite company. Is that supposed to be one of the Brownings in? I don't fucking know. Impressive feat capturing a Navy ship. I suppose capturing a combat ship from the second best Navy in the world is sort of an accomplishment. Hate train on your poop deck, but that's not a combat ship. And just how would you know that, Mr. Army Ranger boy? First, I'm not a ranger. I'm not even in the army. Secondly, look at some of the decks. They're too low. Get into close combat and the ship could be boarded easily, and the weaponry appears defensive at best. Well then, if not for combat, what was the ship used for? I can't say for certain, but giving a guess, I'd say it started out as a supply or cargo ship. The low decks would serve well for tossing stuff on and off. That's ridiculous. Why would a supply ship be stationed anywhere near Korean waters? I don't know. When was it captured? January of 1968. Now it makes sense. That's close to the Vietnam War era. A ship like this would be adequate for reconnaissance missions. So it was meant to be a spy ship after all. Damn, I had hoped that it was just a rumor. Afraid not. If it was caught in the Pacific around Japan or Korea in 1968, it was likely attempting to gain info from radio frequencies. It wasn't Japan. The American ship clearly violated Korean waters. You'll see when we get to the gallery. I'm sure. Before long, we're taken on board the Pueblo. While entering, I have to admit they've kept the boat in pretty decent shape. They didn't repair any of the damage in the gunfire, but the outside is clean and the decks appear okay. I guess it could have been worse. Seems like you kept the ship in decent shape. Of course we did. It wouldn't be much of a museum if it was in bad condition. It's very true, yes. As she drones on a bit about how the utmost care was taken by the Korean Navy to keep the ship in tip-top shape, I head over to the starboard side which faces the water. Looking over gives a stark contrast to the clean facade one gets entering the ship. The starboard side is rusting over and shows no signs of repair in ages. Well, it's a sign least likely to be seen, obviously, from the perspective of the nearest people who, unless you're on a boat, you'd be over there or over here or something. So, clearly, if you're going to be boarding from the side, I know this is where the most people are going to be viewing it from, this is the only side that you really need to fucking care about. Not even a coat of paint to try and hide the contempt the Koreans feel for the vessel. Bastards. Hey, Angie, your Navy does know there are two sides to a ship, right? Oh, the implications. Of course they do. Even I know that. Port and starboard. What about it? Your port side looks fine, but it doesn't look like you've touched the starboard side since you've acquired the ship. No one ever looks over there anyway. Leave it to you to be the one person to walk over and check the side no one cares about. Come on now. You said this was a symbol of one of your country's greatest victories. Can you put a little effort to preserving it if it's so damned important? I am actually recording, right? It's okay, yes. Nope, can't be bothered. Front looks good. Inside is fine. Who cares about the backside? He's gonna make a joke about who cares about the backside, isn't he? You've just offended assmen everywhere. There we go, yes. You've just offended assmen everywhere. Whatever. Are you coming to check the inside or what? There's art and photos as well as some of the materials the crew left behind. Since most of the captured material has been declassified now, the Workers' Party has placed the original documents back in the code room. Great. It would be kind of cool to see what the crew is trying to learn. Angie wastes no time in grabbing my hand and dragging me into the inner portions of the ship. Alright. On the walls hang mostly paintings and a couple pictures, each depicting a pair of Korea's narrative on the events of the events in 1968. Even just a cursory glance shows that their version of the story is dubious at best. Actually, that's probably doing the word dubious a disservice, since dubious implies a very small chance there's truth being told. Most of what I see is a little bullshit. Hey Angie, do you really think the American ship situated itself right there just offshore of the mainland this painting depicts? And there's that shut up or I'll murder your face. Of course, you brazen Americans think you can steal right in front of people. Well, our Navy showed you how we feel about spies in true Korea. Yeah, I'm sorry. We may be brazen, but we aren't idiots. And why is the captain of the ship just wearing his silkies and a wife beater while holding a half-empty bottle of Grand Style whiskey? Well, maybe that part isn't too off the mark if Gunny is any example. But seriously, this painting over here depicts the crew playing shuffleboard. And if this ship was actually invading your coastline, wouldn't they have burned all the documents they thought there was a chance of being captured? How should I know? If this is your country's idea of the world's second best navy, you aren't holding much of a standard for the rest of the world. Was Russia's navy a bunch of vodka-drinking bears and robots? No, because the bears wouldn't fit in the robots. Fuck. She doesn't say anything as we walk over where the very few photos are. In one is what looks like a bunch of Korean guys having fun playing poker. In another is what appears to be the command crew of the Pueblo in a group shot. Hange's photo here appears to be a bunch of Koreans playing card games. What does that have to do with anything? The ones in the middle are the Americans that were on the ship when we captured it. This photo shows them having a good time with our countrymen and how well they were treated in captivity as negotiations ensued. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't see any Americans in this picture at all. I mean, yeah, we are a pretty big melting pot of different ethnicities, but there's no way we had that many Asian crew members back then. Hell, I don't even see any black guys in this photo. I mean, not to be silly, but there's no way these are the actual crew members. Clearly, you aren't looking hard enough. Those six in the middle are absolutely American. I don't think we're going to agree on this. There's nothing to agree to. Facts are facts, and that picture says 100 words. We really need to work on your slang. Dropping the subject of why Korea thought it could pass off their Navy crew as ours, I turn to the group photo. Oh. Huh. A few of them sitting as a group like part of an interview or something. These guys actually do look like an American crew, so this must be a propaganda photo. Looking closer, I noticed something about the crew members. Something that they're doing that changes my opinion on at least these sailors. Those glorious bastards. Way to go, boys. Rain salutes you, absolute madmen. What are you rambling on about now? Look at the look at the sailors in this photo. See how they're all stationed, they've all stationed their hands so their middle fingers are extended towards the camera? That's pure gold. Oh, you mean the Hawaiian good luck Oh, you mean the Hawaiian good luck sign. Yes, the sailors said they were treated so well they wanted to extend well wishes to our Navy members. After all, they knew what they did was wrong, but it wasn't their fault. Orders are orders, right? Better and better. It appears the Koreans, at least at the time, had no idea the sailors were telling them to fuck off in secret. And even if they found out, they're still telling the new generations of military members the Americans lie to prevent embarrassment. I'm tempted to crush this misconception, but then playing along with it might be entertaining as well. I just want to go along. Detroit salute. Playing along with it and see how it goes. I'd say I'd end up going to hell if I had to play along with this government-sponsored fallacy. However, I figure North Korea is probably close to the first stage of hell anyway, so why miss it by inches? It's been a long time since that hand gesture was used by Americans, but back during the 60s and 70s, it was really popular. Maybe I misjudge you Americans. I mean, it couldn't have been pleasant for the sailors to be stuck in a foreign land for months on end. But they made the best of it and even offered good wishes to their hosts. Hosts, right. Anyway, hand signals have been pretty popular at different times in American history. It's well known that Ben Franklin gave the first thumbs up after he was made Postmaster General of the United States. Any hand signals being used today? Oh no. Of course, I'll show you a couple. He says, his face brimming with excitement. Oh, he just can't wait to share. Oh, God. That's all I needed to see. I split my fingers so that my pointer finger and middle finger are apart in a V shape. That's pretty dexterous of you to do that. What does it mean? We kind of stole this one from the Brits and gave it our own meaning. If you showed to someone, it means you wish them well. It's kind of a peace sign. It was popular with a lot of bands back in the 60s. Got any more? Nah, the Hawaiian good luck sign's probably all you'll ever need if you visit me back home. Great, let's go see the artifacts and documents then. Donji nods and then leads the way to the coda room. We enter the code room of the Pueblo. In doing so, it's like I've stepped back into the 1960s. There's a broken blacklight on the floor and several accompanying posters with the doors on the wall. There's some Pin It Girl posters as well, but it looks like someone took a marker and drew your clothing over the naughty bits. Well, that's heresy of the highest order, isn't it, really? I somehow doubt it was one of the original sailors who did that. And I think I see an old lava lamp on one of the tables as well. Those Navy guys really were in their own little world, or this is Korea's anti-American Navy propaganda at work. I'm not sure which it is, though. This was the main room where the sailors would attempt to capture Korean government spies. Secrets. Spies? What? Fuck? What the fuck? They attempted to just... Jesus, it got loud out there. Fuck. They attempted to destroy the evidence before they were boarded, but only succeeded part way. What was seized by our sailors was taken and immediately put into a vault. And has only just been released to place back in here for viewing. It's over on the counter there. Great. Guess I'll take a look and see what our boys were trying to find out back in 1968. I head over to where Andrew's pointed and start rifling through a small pile of documents and binders. Jesus. There really doesn't appear to be anything too incriminating upon first glance. Among to where the ship was, the time and date, various data on sea and wind conditions. There's a small amount of data on the original leader included, but nothing that likely wasn't already public knowledge. Okay, maybe the scribble about him having a pathetically small Johnson wasn't public knowledge. But I'm guessing a sailor wrote that in before getting captured as a bit of defiance. There's also a familiar looking green binder. It's old and discolored, but it's definitely something you could pick up at the post exchange. Guess they haven't updated that model a few decades or so. I wonder what's inside. Flipping through, I can't help but laugh. I'm not sure why you find material of your country spying on us funny. Care to tell me what you find amusing? This binder doesn't have anything to do with Korea at all. She comes over and takes a look at the contents. Of course it is. Look at all those X's and O's and diagrams. Clearly this is a war journal the Navy intended to use to attack Korea. More like this is a war journal the United States Army intended to use to attack the United States Navy. I don't understand what you mean. Why would your army attack your Navy? This war journal is an Army playbook from the 1967 football team. No wonder Navy won that year. They had the playbook and could formulate a defense against Army's offense. You mean to tell me this is a dumb playbook for your lame American version of football? Pretty much. Guess this is one way to hide the theft. Stick the playbook on a ship out in the Pacific. You could probably get a small fortune from selling this to a collector. This place is starting to lose some of its luster. Can we go home soon? I meander around a little bit more, but there's nothing here that'll be that's all that damning. I probably could have done without having seen a crew member's molding Silky in one of the glass cases, though. We did get a late start. How soon will the driver be here? I'll text him and find out. She does so, and a few minutes later, her phone vibrates in response. He said it would be about 30 minutes. I go to say something, but my stomach rumbles before I get any words out. Okay, I was going to say, what are we going to do in the interim, but now I know. It sounds like you're hungry. What's that face? Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, we can grab some grub around here. There's a meat-on-stick car outside where we arrived. It's not seasoned all that well, but it's cooked properly and should tide us over until we get home. Lead the way, Angie. Hey, food is food, right? As long as it's not going to kill me. She smiles and grabs my hand, leading me back up to where we dropped off. Sure enough, there's a food cart there offering meat on a stick. Like, oh, just meat on a stick. What meat? It's meat. It's like getting food from McDonald's. It's maybe the first place I've been to that doesn't offer kimchi as a dish. I fucking was waiting for that remark, too. I ordered a couple of sticks and hand one to Unji. You didn't have to pay for mine. I can buy my own, you know. I wanted to, okay? I don't quite understand, but thank you. We eat our meat in silence. Thank you for phrasing it that way. I'm surprised it wasn't a joke, honestly. When finished, Unji turns to me and breathes deeply before speaking. Uh-oh. What's with his face? Oh no. What are you doing? I'm sorry if you were uncomfortable with today's date. No, she's actually showing sympathy. How odd. I know it can be easy seeing a symbol of your country sitting captured in foreign waters. It does suck a little, but hey, it's just the Navy's old boat. I still had fun. I'm glad to hear it. Some of it was at your expense, though, but I had a good time as well. Unji blushes and makes a rough attempt at speaking in English. Oh, God. At least it warned me. Ah, no. And she's blushing. Great. You and me to Isha very good, thank you. Fuck you. I can't help but laugh and smile at her. For all her insults and jabs, she's not that bad. Not that bad, she's amazing. Shut up. No problem, Moonji. I'm glad you like... Was that my meat? Yeah. No problem, Moonji. She smiles and closes her eyes. Yes, she does in fact. Minutes later, our driver arrives and we get into the back seat. And a few minutes later, Moonji's eyes are closed and she's resting her head on my chest. Aw. I think these girls have narcolepsy or something. Or maybe I'm just comfortable with them? Beats me. Guess I'll nap till we get home too. You know what, I'll go into this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see... I just rolled my mouse over. How the fuck did that happen? Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.